Welcome back to the Plays with Cars YouTube channel and another episode of Project Audi. You can see here we have a number of boxes from ECS Tuning. This is not sponsored. We paid full price for all this stuff. We are just regular old honking customers. But this is the big brake upgrade kit for our B8 S4 so that we can go to Quattro Fest and Susie can do her first track day. So, you ready to open these things up and tell us what we got?
Yes. Sorry, I'm just checking to see if they are numbered since I saw the numbering on one box. This box is different than all the others.
Oh, well, whichever one you want to start with. So our B8 S4, it's got 115,000 miles on it now?
That sounds about right.
Something around there. Anyways, it's got stock brakes on it. It's had like the pads and rotors and stuff done, but it's the stock calipers and all that. And it's fine for daily driving, but it's not going to hold up to a track day. They're a sliding caliper, so we've got some upgrades here. Starting with, it looks like those are retaining brackets for pads, and that is the first caliper. So these are fixed calipers. And I'll explain the difference as soon as this wrapping comes off here. Look at that beauty.
Wow.
So you see there are pistons on both the outside and inside of the caliper. On sliding calipers, you just have pistons on the inside, and then there's two giant pins here and here, and this part of the caliper is nothing. It's just metal. And the whole caliper body slides. So the pistons will push, and then this slides in, and that's how the calipers work. They like to gum up a lot on the pins and get seized, and it's really, really bad. They also overheat a lot on the track. So if you're doing any kind of actual track day stuff, I'm not talking drag racing or autocross, I mean out on a real racetrack doing lapping, you need something like this, a fixed brake caliper. So this caliper, the whole thing stays still. The caliper body does not move at all. The only thing that moves are these pistons. Now this particular caliper upgrade is a bolt-on affair. This is the caliper from a Q5 with the 3-liter, just like our S4. It has these larger brakes. So these actually bolt right to the S4 knuckles and use the same size rotor and everything, uses the same master cylinder bore. So we will be able to use these, bolt them right on the car, and immediately have better brakes for track work. So that was in box number 1. So we have one caliper so far. No other caliper shaped boxes. That's concerning.
Yeah, and that there was one that said, 3 of 6, and we only have 5 boxes. That's why I was looking to see which numbered box we were missing.
All right, thank you, FedEx.
Yes.
These, I believe, are our brake ducts. So another part of being on track and doing track day work is keeping the brakes cool. And one way to keep them cool is with some duct work. It's different pieces for undercar aerodynamics that will divert air to the actual brake rotors and calipers to help keep them cool. These are newly designed by ECS Tuning and should bolt right onto the car. We have a similar setup for the Porsche, which you could see in a video that I will link up there. But these are for the Audi. So these are supposed to go right onto the tie rod. And I think it actually goes that way around. And it scoops air and directs it to the caliper. So we got a pair of those. That's good. And one of these is really heavy. This one, I think, or one of these big ones is. That should be the rotors. So hopefully this one's got another caliper in it. And then one should have a set of pads. Let's see what kind of fun things we got. That looks like another caliper. Yay! Another set of this is the retaining clip and pins. This is the only thing that holds the pads in on a fixed caliper. It's a really nice setup. So that is our other side caliper. Interesting that the boxes were such different shapes.
Right?
This is all the goodies. So we have us some brake pads. We went with
Those
EBC.
ordered?
Yep. Yep. We had them put different pads in the kit. This kit normally comes from ECS Tuning with Stop Tech pads, but those Stop Tech pads are actually just Reboxed Centric pads, and they're not all that great for actual track work. These are EBC Red Stuffs. I hope these are the right ones. They're saying Audi RS3 on there, but maybe that looks like the same kind of pads. Cool.
Wow.
And then we've got
brake lines.
Yeah, so you can
Really nice.
you can run the original BAS4 brake lines when you put this on. The problem is they don't have a pivot on them, so when you're bolting it on, you kind of have to like twist the caliper on, which is super annoying. So ECS Tuning makes these brake lines here that do the adapter so that they actually spin here on the end, so that you just screw on the brake line instead of having to deal with the caliper. So we'll be replacing the brake hoses as well. And then we've got...
Oh, these are for the rotors. They're all the...
No, those are the calipers. Those are your caliper mounting bolts. Oh. The stock bolts are torque to yield. That means when you first put them in, you actually torque them until they stretch to, and you're really not supposed to reuse them, so always get new ones. Got a t-shirt.
T-shirt.
Woo woo. What was in this little guy here? Those are the standoffs. That's for the calipers. That's good.
Nice.
Cool.
Brightly colored shirt.
Nice.
Bright logo. Fun.
And then brake fluid, because when you do all this, you're going to need more brake fluid. And if you're going to do track work, you should really flush all the brake fluid and use something good. So we've got some ATE Type 200 fluid. So our last box should be rotors, and then that should be everything we ordered, I believe. It certainly was heavy enough to be rotors. So the rotors are the same size as the stock BAS4, so it's not a big brake kit as far as like rotor size goes, but these rotors are honestly plenty big enough even for track work. The whole thing with this platform is all in the calipers, so we did get male rotors, and we did not get slotted or drilled. These should just be blank rotors. The reason for that is anybody that actually tracks knows this. Rotors that are, here, you need that.
Yes.
Rotors that are drilled tend to crack out of the drill marks and go bad kind of right away. And then slotted rotors are a pain in the butt on the street because they're really noisy. So really, if you're doing any kind of track work, really, this is what you want. Nice and blank. Gives you the most surface area to work with. You don't have to worry about cracking or warping. So that's great. I'll assume that one will look the same. We can finish unboxing this off camera, but this is everything we need to get the car up to snuff for the track day. So new rotors for the front, new calipers, changing them from sliding piston to a fixed body caliper, also going up to 4 piston from 2. We got the new brake pads, some fluid, all the different bolts and hardware, a couple of brake ducts, some brake lines, and we're gonna be ready to go. So you be ready for that first track day?
Heck yeah.
All right, yep, it's a 2-day event at PIR, Portland International Raceway, with Audi Club Northwest doing Quattro Fest, and it's an HPT, right? There's no timing.
No timing.
Yeah, this is you're learning the track, because you've never done this before, right?
Never tracked at all.
Okay, so it's going to be a first for Susie. She's obviously done lots of autocross, and of course Mary Hill you saw on the last video of Project Porsche, but now we're doing track day, and we want to make sure that she is ready to go and confident and focused on learning the track and not whether or not her car's going to end up in the ditch. So we'll get all this on the Audi. That'll be the next episode of Project Audi here on the Plays with Cars YouTube channel.